Tonight, we look at a story that's unfolding not just on our highways, but in the very fabric of our daily lives, shaping the way we move, work, and connect with each other. This story stretches far beyond the roads, reaching into the corridors of power from Washington to Tokyo, where decisions are being made that will ripple across the globe. It's about more than cars. It's about the fracturing of global trade and the remaking of the world's economic map as nations reconsider their alliances and supply routes in a rapidly changing landscape. Toyota and Honda, after decades of dominance, are pulling back from the US market, not out of failure, but adaptation to a new reality, where flexibility and innovation are more important than ever before. New US tariffs and trade policies are forcing automakers to rethink everything, impacting prices, jobs, and the future of American manufacturing, while workers and families brace for uncertainty and change. The seamless global supply chains that once defined the industry are now sources of risk, as companies build regional fortresses to survive, investing in local production and reimagining how cars and economies are built. This is the dawn of a new, more complicated age for the global economy, one that will touch every American, not just car enthusiasts, as the ripple effects reach into our communities, our jobs, and our everyday choices. To truly understand the sweeping changes happening in the auto industry today, we need to look back at how Toyota and Honda revolutionized the US market in the wake of the 1970s oil crisis. Their arrival marked a turning point, not just for car buyers, but for the entire American manufacturing landscape. Their fuel-efficient, reliable cars forced Detroit's automakers to innovate, adapt, and rethink their approach. Over time, Toyota and Honda vehicles became woven into the very fabric of American life, changing what people expected from their cars and from the companies that built them. By building massive plants in states like Kentucky and Ohio, Toyota and Honda created hundreds of thousands of well-paying jobs, revitalizing local economies and establishing themselves as true domestic powerhouses in the US auto industry. Their build where you sell strategy not only insulated them from currency swings, but also helped them win over local communities, forging strong ties with American workers and families. But now, new American trade policies, tariffs that don't distinguish between foreign and domestic ownership, are upending this carefully built model, creating uncertainty for companies and workers alike. The very rules that once helped Toyota and Honda succeed are being rewritten, forcing these companies to reconsider their investments, partnerships, and long-term strategies in North America. The stage is now set for a dramatic restructuring of the North American auto market, with far-reaching consequences for workers, communities, and the future of the industry itself. At the heart of this unfolding drama is a sweeping wave of tariffs, especially targeting goods from China and Japan. These new trade barriers have sent shockwaves through the global economy, upending long-established routes and relationships. The result? Global supply chains have become a complex minefield, where every shipment faces new risks, delays, and unexpected costs. For companies like Honda, tariffs on Asian-made batteries for its US hybrid vehicles threatened their competitiveness almost overnight, forcing them to rethink their entire production strategy. The message from Washington is clear. Relying on foreign supply chains now comes at a steep and unpredictable cost, with policy shifts that can change the rules at any moment. Honda's solution: secure a domestic battery source and shift more production to the US, bypassing tariffs and building greater resilience into their operations. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a fundamental pivot. Honda and other automakers are now scrambling to onshore manufacturing, and parts sourcing, investing heavily in new facilities and technologies. The goal is no longer just efficiency or cost savings. It's about survival in a world where every cross-border shipment is a potential liability, and every delay can mean lost market share. Automakers are racing to build self-contained North American operations, even as the costs, logistical challenges, and complexity of such a transformation continue to mount. In this new age of trade uncertainty, the price of inaction is even higher. Companies that fail to adapt risk falling behind, as the rules of global commerce are rewritten in real time. In a surprising twist, Honda is turning to its biggest rival, Toyota, for help. Honda will source batteries for its US hybrids from Toyota's new North Carolina factory, a move that would have been unthinkable just years ago. For Honda, it's a lifeline. American-made batteries mean no tariffs, keeping prices competitive. For Toyota, it's a shrewd business play, guaranteed demand for its new plant and a new revenue stream. This partnership blurs the line between competitor and collaborator, showing how old rivalries are giving way to pragmatic alliances. In today's auto industry, survival means working with your rivals when the stakes are high. Toyota's billion-dollar battery plant in North Carolina is more than a factory. It's a strategic power play. By making batteries in the US, Toyota shields itself from tariffs and future-proofs its operations. Supplying Honda turns the plant into a commercial asset, deepening Toyota's influence in the American market. This move cements Toyota as both a builder and a supplier, strengthening its political and economic clout. The collaboration signals a shift. Automakers are now willing to share resources to weather trade storms. Toyota's investment is a bet on the future of American manufacturing and a blueprint for how to thrive in a fractured global market. The road to the future of American auto manufacturing now runs through North Carolina. As Toyota and Honda adapt, a new US-Japan trade deal is shaking up the North American auto market. Cars imported from Japan now face a 15% tariff, lower than the 25% tariff on vehicles from Canada and Mexico. This puts Detroit's Big Three at a disadvantage, penalizing vehicles built in North America with mostly American parts. The American Automotive Policy Council calls the policy unfair, arguing it rewards imports over local investment. The deal has sparked fierce debate about fairness and the future of US trade policy. Foreign automakers want similar deals, while domestic companies fear losing ground in their own backyard. The fallout is deepening industry divisions and could reshape competition for years to come. Tariffs aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, they hit home for companies, workers, and consumers. For Ford and others, a 25% tariff on cars from Mexico and Canada means higher costs or higher prices for buyers. Japanese imports, with a lower tariff, suddenly have a price edge, threatening American brands' market share. The ripple effect is real. Fewer sales mean less demand for US-made parts, putting jobs at risk across the Midwest and South. The policy, meant to protect American industry, could end up hurting the very workers it was designed to help. For consumers, the result is higher prices and fewer affordable options. The price of a car now reflects not just steel and labor, but the complex calculus of global politics. The new trade landscape is a double-edged sword for American jobs. Onshoring, like Toyota's North Carolina battery plant, creates new jobs and more resilient supply chains. But tariffs that penalize North American production threaten existing jobs in the deeply integrated auto industry. The paradox: one policy creates jobs, another puts them at risk. For buyers, expect higher prices and fewer choices as costs rise across the industry. The Honda-Toyota partnership may soften the blow for hybrids, but the overall trend is clear. Cars are getting more expensive. The era of global efficiency is over. Resilience and proximity now matter most, even if it means higher costs. The future, more fragmented supply chains, more local jobs, but pricier cars. What does this mean for you? The car you buy, its price, and where it's made are all being reshaped by global forces. Tariffs and new supply chains mean higher prices and changing choices at the dealership. US-built hybrids with American batteries may become more common, while some models disappear or get pricier. The story of your next car is now a story of international politics and economic strategy. Staying informed matters. These changes affect your wallet and your community. The road ahead is more complex and expensive, but it's a story still unfolding, right in your driveway.